Hello everyone and welcome back to our JRPG series. In the last episode we started work on our techniques UI. In this episode we're actually going to create our first technique to steal money from our enemies. So we first of all have to create a currency system and then allow us to actually cast this spell on our enemies. So let's begin. So in order for our steal to actually steal money, we need to set up a money system, also a basic one inside our game here. So we need to first of all add money as a thing on our player controller. And we're going to add here and call this money. And this will be an integer. All that, and that's fine. Then we want to go into unit base and set up how much money this particular unit is worth. So we go to variables, and this will be money worth. And this will be an integer. We'll set a default value on this for 100. Okay, but you can obviously change this as much as you want. Another thing you might want to do on here is add the variance to it, so you can have like a money min and money max if you want. But for now, I'm going to leave it as money worth. So that each unit now has that. And so if I go to my spider enemy here, for example, I can go to the class defaults and I can change how much money it's worth here to whatever I want. So I can do like 150 or whatever. I'll save that and close this. Okay, so now we need to give us money when we win the game. So on the UI for victory screen, I'm going to add the money display here, and click on here. So on this border here, we've got the XP gained text showing. We're going to add another one to this as well. So I'm going to wrap this with a horizontal box. So, and I'm going to duplicate this. And this one is going to be slightly different. So, why is it going? Hold on. Let's just get it animated across. It makes it a bit easier to change. There we go. So, this is not going to say XP gained 9999. And also we want to have space between the two. So I'm add some padding here on the left. Do 50, do 100, and on the XP gained one, we're padding on the right here for another 100. So on this XP gained here, we're going to the second one, so the text one for money. So we're going to call this money gained text, and so, and we'll change this to by default show money earned. And put in 999. Okay, and there's your money earned. So we now need to tie that up with our game mode, which is going to calculate how much money the fight is worth at the end. So we're going to go into our game mode, and at the start of this, on begin play, we are working out how much XP our units are giving us. So going through enemy, calculate XP reward. There we go. So here we're doing XP reward. What I'm also going to do as well is calculate the money reward. So I'm going to duplicate this XP reward thing and change it to calculate money reward. And rather than looking at the XP worth, we're going to take the money worth. From here, money worth. Get to money worth. And we'll add that to there. And the loop XP count we'll just change the name of to loop money count. And that'll add it to there and output this into set XP reward. So this XP reward is going to be actually changed here to a money reward. Change that to money reward. And we'll give it some variance as well. So I'm going to go into integer and change that here to be set money reward. But I'm going to take the money count we've got here and I'm going to multiply this by a float and then truncate that into our money reward. And the multiplication here is going to be a random value between a range. and we're going to go between 0.85 to to 1.15. There's a 30% difference it could vary in, and that sets it into money reward. Save, and you can do the same for XP if you want. You can add that onto there too. Okay, so that gets us on the battle game mode. We've got the calculate money reward. So we're going to go over to the event here and drag in our calculate money reward at the end there. After we've done the XP reward. File and save. Okay, so that's all of that done. And we've got the money reward. We're going to go to the victory screen and go to the graph. And in here, we're looking at the get rid of that now. We're going to go up to the construct for this, which is in here. So I'm going to just move this part along after the XP reward being set its text. And we're going to drag out the money reward, money gained text, set text, and plug that in. So, and likewise with the XP reward with as battle game mode, we're going to take that as battle game mode out, and then we're going to get the money reward. Put that in there. Okay, and that's all we have to do there. We're not going to make it tick down and go into the player's account. It's just going to show how much money they earn. Okay, so that is the money part of the game done. We're going to now work on the stealing part. So to be able to steal, we need to set up the technique actions on the combat component. So likewise, we've made the functions similar to the attack and the magic attack and the items. We've got enemy technique and friendly technique. So for enemy technique, what we're going to do is we're going to make them run towards the enemy and do something to the enemy. So we're going to use the same as the melee attack, basically. So I'm going to take this and copy all of this and put that in here. So it's going to move to the target, and it's then going to play a montage. And that montage at the moment is the attack montage. We don't want to use that. We're going to disconnect that for now and remove that. And for now, we're just going to put in on success. It will just go to the character, delay for a few moments. So do like 1 second delay. And then it'll go to AI move 2 again. So I'm going to get rid of this play montage. So you're going to walk up to him, then walk back. So go up to there, AI move 2, and it will walk back to its position. Okay. We're then going to do when it's a friendly target. And when it's a friendly target, it's basically going to do the same as the item. So we're going to go over to the item one, over here. We're looking for the friendly cast here. And we use the exact same friendly stuff going on here. Exactly the same. Okay, plug that in, and then we will plug the technique into the spawn actor. So technique down to there, that up, and this will break the recipient here. So we need to make the recipient part on the technique. So let's go to the technique base, and much like the item, we're going to have a recipient on here. Recipient, and that's going to be a unit base. I'll save that. And on the combat component here, actually, sorry, no, I have to go back to where you have to make it exposed on spawn and editable. Yep. Now go back to the combat component and refresh the spawn actor. And we should get the recipient node appear. We're going to plug in the unit target into the recipient. And that's it. And the rest of this is going to stay the same. We're not going to change anything like that. And that's it. Compile and save. So now we just need to do what the steal is going to do. So on steal, we're going to go open full blueprint editor. And this thing is spawned when the player reaches that location. So they'll reach that location, do their thing, and begin play will just do its stuff. So on begin play, we're going to tell it to get the money from the enemy and take it away. So we're going to get recipient, get their money worth, and from there we're going to take away a percentage of it. So we're going to take the money worth and multiply that by float, and we'll do 0.1. So take away 10%. And on begin play, we're going to take that 10% and we're going to add it to the player controller's money value. So we're going to get the player controller, pass to our battle player controller, and then from there we can set our money and also get our money. I'm going to add the two together. Go into there, then that goes into money. Okay. So what else you may want to do is make it show the information bar at the top of the screen to show how much you actually stole. So what you're going to do here is get access to the HUD. Now the HUD is actually part of the game mode. So if we get game mode, and from there cast to our battle game mode, and from the game mode we're going to take out our current unit, and from there get the combat component, and from there get the action command window. That has access to that show information. Go information, and we can put in how much they stole. So format text from here, and we'll put in here put in a curly bracket and put in name, close curly bracket, and we'll put in stole curly bracket be money, close curly bracket, from close curly bracket, open curly bracket, target, close curly bracket. So we've got three variables in there. We've got the name of the who stole the money that was stolen, and the target who was the recipient of that. So what we're going to do here is you take the recipient first of all. Oh, where are we? Get recipient, and from there we can get their name, and that'll go into the target. The name of who done it is going to be the instigator. So get instigator. Or rather, yeah, actually, what we can do is actually just get the current unit from here. Get their name. A bit quick, easier. Name. Go into there. And the money value is how much they stole. So we want to take the value we're getting out from here. Okay. And we want to store this as a variable. So take this out and promote this to a variable. And this be amount stolen. That here. And then I can just drag in that amount stolen into this bin. Okay, now show the information. We're then going to delay this for however long we want to take to make the show information disappear. So we do let's do 10. Actually, no, let's do 5. And from here, we're going to just do from the action window again, show info, information, and leave it blank so it turns it off. Okay, save that. Okay, so let's go back and check our combat component. Make sure that's all set up correctly to send that attack across. So when we cast the technique on enemy, which is up here, yeah, we are looking at moving to a target, and after we reach the target, wait 1 second, and then move to and move back. but we haven't actually got the spawning in at the moment. So what we're going to do here is make it add the spawn actor. So this will be actually the same as this stuff here. So to take the spawn actor, copy there, and paste that in here. No, not going to copy. And then we'll plug that into our delay there. Probably put the delay on the other side actually. Success. Across here. There. And the class is going to come from the technique at the start here. Clear those errors as well. Instigator will be the current character. So get unit character. Put that in there like that. And it may be worth doing it on here too. Okay, and that's it. So let's see the stealing happen in the game. So Faye has the technique to steal. And we can choose a target. I've got an issue here, that's because it's appearing above him. It's fine, we'll deal with that in a minute. So the issue we had to do there was on the unit battle HUD, you want to make sure that the technique window is above the target window, so the target window appears in front. We have to do animations as well in this in a minute, but we'll come back to it in a second. The other issue is that the info box appears for like one frame and then disappears. And the reason why that's happening is because this whole widget is being removed when they cast the technique. So we go to combat component, and over here on the cast technique, you can see here on AR move 2, we're removing the actions command window from the parent. So I'm going to change where this takes place. I'm going to take this and cut it from there, and I'm going to put it on the AI move 2 here. So when it starts to run back, it's going to, well, when it succeeds this run back here, we'll remove the widget. But we still don't want it to show all the options on the screen so you can keep clicking stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this get here and put this back to where it was. Instead, we're going to make a function on our widget here to hide the non-important bits. So we'll go to our battle Y and go to the graph and make a new function. And we can do hide menus. In hide menus, we're going to take out the action commands, for example. And for this, we're going to do set visibility. And we're going to change that to hidden. And we're going to do this for each of them. So we can drag out item window, magic window, and target window. So, and that can go in there as well. They can all share the same node. Target window, get, and window. That's going to hide the menus. And then I'm going to go back to my combat component, and then from action commands window, I'm going to do hide menus. Compile and save this. Bit of a workaround, but it should suffice. Let's test these changes out. Techniques, steal from the spider. So stole 15 from default. This all the action command was still showing there. We need to make that more hidden. So they'll go back to that. So action commands is set to hidden there. It may have something to do with, say, the animations, because animations for the action commands is making it more visible and changing their visibility. So on the animation for this over here, we are changing the visibility all the time of action commands to self and all children. So the action menu is still showing there. I believe it's because when we choose a target on a target window, that's the wrong one, target window, we are calling it to do the return on the event graph. So here, call return selected. So what that's doing there is basically telling it to run the animation, and the animation changes the visibility of the action command. So here I'm going to just delete this for now and use it without it. Now it shouldn't be a problem because the rest of it's going to be taken away anyway by either remove or the hide menu function we made. So now phase style 15 from default. You need to change its name. And we'll just test it works for the other things on here too. So magic, black magic, fire, and do that. Perfect. Okay. So the last thing we're going to do here is we are going to, first of all, let's just see how much money we earn at the end. So the other thing we're going to do here is set up the animations properly for the techniques and items, which I'll show you in a second. And the issue is on the, we go to items and use weapons. I don't have any. Right, pack here, we'll just do attack. Okay, that does that. So now they will pick up all this stuff and we get the money, 429 coming into it. And that's it. Okay. So the money I can see there isn't showing as like money earned and then colon the value. We need to change that. And also we need to tell it to improve those animations. So let's quickly fix the victory screen there. Go to the graph and you've got money received and you got to text, that's why. So I'm going to change that to format text. And this is going to say money earned. Colon, space, curly bracket, money, close over bracket, and that goes into compile and save that. That's that part. Next, we're going to go to the unit battle HUD, and here we've got the show magic menu anim, and we've also got show magic target. We have to also show item target and technique target. So we're going to make more of this basically. So if I duplicate show magic target, duplicate that, and call this one show item target. We can go into there and tell it to not use the magic window. We're going to replace that with the item window. So select item window and right click replace with item window. And that should animate that down. So, and we're going to duplicate that one again and do show technique target. And we're going to go into there, set the technique, and right click on the item window. Oops. Technique window, right click on here, replace with technique window. Now technique window is the one that goes in the back. Okay. With that done, we go to the graph and we need to change it so it can do all of the animations, not just these two. So when we do these, we're going to do a check to see which one we want to do, because at the moment we're doing it here as well and here, so we don't have to keep doing this over and over again. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to make a function that returns the anim we want to use. And we want to use a widget animation object reference, so let's make a function that returns that. So get target anim, and it's going to have a return node on here, and that return node is going to have one output. It's going to be the anim widget animation reference, and this will be anim. And what we're going to do here is we're going to take out a switch on this. Now the switch is going to be based upon an index or a string or something like that, which will determine which one we should be doing. So we're going to use, let's say this is an integer. We do active menu index and to be an int, and from there I'm going to drag it out, get it, and then switch on int. Plug this in, and from there we're going to add pins to this. So we've got a few options there. We've got 1, 2, and 3, and 4 options. And if it's 0, we're going to do the return node here. We do show target anim. Yep. Put the other return nodes here. And paste that in again. And lastly again. And so number 1 will be magic. So I'm doing it in the order that it comes in the menu. So I'm going to magic. This one will be technique. So technique target. And return node for this one is going to be item target. And then we just need to set this index when we want to. So we go to the event graph and we're going to go down here to show item menu. Okay, and when we do show item menu, we're going to at the end here set active index here. And this one's going to be 3. We're then going to go down to techniques. Yep, and drag that out again. Set that, and that'd be equal to 2. And the show magic menu is going to be equal to 1. And finally, we just do the default active menu widget. That'll be set to 0. And then when we hide these menus, so we go back to closing of these menus, we're going to set active menu index here to 0. So hide there to 0. Hide here 0. And finally, hide here to 0. Okay, so now we just need to call that function we made up top here. We're finding out what animation we want to play. So we can replace all this, that function. Target anim. Plug that in here. In fact, we can make this a pure cast, in fact. So, plug that in with this one. In there too, and that's the only times we do that, I think. So that should hopefully work. So let's test this out now in our game. I'll go to techniques, still, and you can see now still's gone back into there, back. I can now steal from targets just fine. And we'll check it for items as well. So items at the moment may not work because, yep, the save file has overwritten them. That's fine, we can fix that. So because I set up the items to be default on the player controller, we're going to fix that and make them like we did with the stats. Change that to not do that. Stop it from wiping it. So to be loaded here, that's going to happen on this. So we do the load inventory. We only want to do this if reloaded is true. Okay. And I'm just going to wipe our save file from this. So our save file, project folders, and save all this. Okay, so now that should stop that from doing that. And I go to play, and hopefully we've got some items now because the player controller has them set up already. Yep, there you go. So if I go to weapons, grenade, everything there's looking quite smooth. And there we have it. Our final option on our action menu is now complete with a functioning technique for stealing items and money from our enemies. In the next episode, we're going to go through and introduce the field mechanic, which is where you're running around in the open game and then it will transport you to the battle. We're going to make sure we are transferring level, items and health between battles as we go. So join us on the next episode right now over on patreon.com/Ryan Laley. We can watch that part plus many others, all from just $1 a month. Big shout out and thank you to all my patrons and YouTube members for the continued support. Thanks for watching and I'll see you all next time. Bye everyone.